Yo, it's your girl Tubbi of the Nerdy Bird site, kicking it with my boy Jake Anthony right here thanks to theantidote.com. He is a lyrical monster, you guys. I've never seen somebody able to deliver the way he does on a local level. He actually makes me feel like he's supposed to be a little bit.
Oh, man.
But I'll let you guys hear it directly from him. Go ahead, John. Give them a little bit about who you are and how you got your start in music.
What's good, people? My name is John Anthony, 21 years old. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I moved up here due to evacuation procedures, during Katrina. I've been rapping for a while. I've been rapping for most of my life. I started out, my dad was a rapper. And growing up in New Orleans around the time I was coming up, you had a really big influence, especially in hip hop, because you had No Limit versus Cash Money, and I would watch Rap City, and certain people know Big Tigger and the Den, like watching Wayne sign on the wall and then rap. I was like, damn, like that nigga young, I could do that.
Right.
And then my dad was actually that's who really shaped me out to be how I am as an artist, just because he was aggressive. And I pretty much, in New Orleans, it's always something dealing with music. Right. So you always have something to listen to. I also had a mom I have a mom that's really into music, and she had me listening to Barcades, Earth, Wind and Fire, stuff like that. So before I even learned about Kanye West, I was like, if I could take a part of this song and use it and flip it in another way, it'll be fire. And then Kanye came along, and I was like, just like that. Right. That's what I'm talking about. So that was pretty much how I came up with it. Pretty much doing ciphers and stuff. I used to battle a lot. A lot of times I battle for shoes. Okay. I'm in the shoes, so I would battle people for shoes. I used to battle just cause I'm not seen as a rapper. People don't really see me as an artist. They say I don't look like a rapper, which I never got, but it was always something that gave me a chip on my shoulder, and I appreciate people for always saying that I didn't look the part, because I am the part, so I don't really have to look like what you think a rapper should look like.
Nice. Now, talking about perspective, I'll go ahead and touch there first. A lot of people kind of look at how your appearance is, and they kind of try to, I guess, vibe out who you are really and truly. But I know that your music has a lot to do with self-expression. You spend a lot of time actually touching on real life experiences and real subject matter and content in that regard. So do you feel like, I guess if you had to describe hip hop or define it in any sense of the way in regards to your own self-expression, what is hip hop for you, and why has it been such an important, I guess, foundation for who you are?
Hip hop for me was, I'm not really a social person. I have my circle of people that I talk to, and I'm not really, I'm not a dick either. Don't take it like that. I just, I preferred being in small crowds of people instead of big crowds. It's just how it was. But I also have this thing where I'm really prideful, so I don't have a place to vent. A lot of times, my parents are always there and stuff, but they're but sometimes you don't really want to talk to them about stuff, not because they do anything wrong, but just because sometimes your feelings don't, approve, or your mind don't approve your feelings, being exposed to your parents on stuff. So that was my way to cry. If I had to cry, I would yell. It was my way of staying out of trouble. I have a quick temper. So it was my way, something got on my nerves, don't even trip, I just pull out a piece of paper and write it and voice my opinion there, and then that's how I would handle it. So hip hop was always expression, and even tying into the appearance of the artist. That's one thing that I saw, because growing up I listened to a lot of Method Man, Wu-Tang. I listened to Big Pun is one of the hardest fucking people I've ever heard of, because what made me like Big Pun was the Twins D cover. And I remember it's a video, it's him, Cannabis, and it's a bunch of other artists. And I remember Big Pun just had this this aura about him, and his appearance was just this who I am. And so I was that's the maximum level of expression. I love it. So it definitely ties in, with your appearance and how confident you are. A lot of people buy brands and think that makes them who they are, and they just look fucking lame with it. but if you have the confidence behind it, that's what makes shit look good. Like, so that's definitely why I feel like the music and the appearance kind of tie into each other, because it's all about personal perception and what you want to put out to people for them to perceive.
Right. Now, being an artist that has experienced the New Orleans life, being your hometown, and actually experiencing the Baton Rouge circle and a lot of the ways that the communities out here kind of interact with each other. A lot of artists kind of agree that we suffer from a crab in a bucket mentality, and not just in Baton Rouge, in New Orleans and surrounding areas.
Definitely.
In regards to music, what do you think needs to be done to kind of break that mold where it's not such a pull you down to get up type of environment?
I feel like this is like a sport. And with anything, you have to practice. You have to perfect your craft. People just trying to jump off the porch and do it, and not everybody can do it. And I feel like when you see somebody that might be a little more superior in lyrical dexterity, that it makes you a little envious, because like, damn, like, he's saying shit, I don't even know what it means, but it sounds cool, and you know it has some power behind it. I feel like it's all, you have to work on that. Like, you can't expect to be swole and don't go to the gym. You can't expect to, you know, be able to shoot like Jordan or whoever you look up to as the GOAT and not take shots to practice. Like, you have to craft yourself. It even come down to, you know, socioeconomic values. Stop killing each other, yo. Like, we literally, like, it shouldn't be to where I'm saying that artists from Louisiana are a dying breed because we just staying at home and trying to make something out of our lives. Like, everybody needs to learn that this ain't something that is exclusive to certain people. You can try it. Even if you don't do that, you know what I'm saying, you can find ways to better yourself as a person without doing all that, man. It's not necessary.
Nice. Now, understanding that you are inspired and that you can be inspiring, do you consider yourself a role model when you're in the position that you're in, or are those your shoes you're not really trying to fill right now?
I do see myself as a role model because, and this is actually gonna be funny, I never told nobody this story, so exclusive anecdote content. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shameless plug. My sister is 14. My parents had a wedding when I was like 7, and I remember asking for like a brother or sister, and like, we're not gonna get into how that came about, but it happened. Boom. So I was like, damn. And then, like, I remember going to the hospital, and I hate hospitals. Finding out she was born, I did not want to fucking leave. And at 7 years old, I was like, damn, like, the world already kind of crazy, so I'm not gonna smoke, I'm not gonna drink or do none of that, because I want to show my sister, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can have the sauce without doing all that shit. Right. And when I started to really take my craft seriously, I started realizing that you are gonna be somebody's gonna look up to you regardless. I'm quite sure, you know, Michael Jackson didn't really want people looking up to him, or didn't expect for people to look up to him, but it happens. Right. When people are intrigued by you, they want to know more about you, they look into you, they want to aspire to be like you. So I don't have a problem with being a role model, and the only question that I ask that kind of appears to be impossible is don't have the mythological feature of, oh, I'm a role model, I can't fall short, because a role model is still a human.
It's perfect, right?
You know what I'm saying? So don't put me in that frame where it's like, oh, if I get sick, you're like, oh my God. Or if I have a human moment and, you know what I'm saying, I let my emotions get the best of me, you know, you're like, well, damn, I can't listen to homie no more. Or, you know what I'm saying? Anything like that, because that'll be whack. Like, that'll be whack.
We all have to kind of grow through ourselves to become who we are. So
definitely so.
It is important to kind of understand that people have their moments, you know.
Yeah.
Now, knowing that music has always been a vast part in your life is something that you were easily able to connect to early on, something that emotionally helped you actually mature throughout some of the most complicated situations, because growing up in New Orleans, in any part of the city, is never easy, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know that from just sitting down and talking to people. It's a whole different world out there. So when you know that you have to kind of format a target audience, people that can actually take your music and relate to it, and it's not a means of it being tolerable. When did you figure out who your target audience was, and how did you kind of go about actually pushing your music to them?
I'm really not gonna give you no PC answers because I don't have a PC answer. I know when I wanted to make music that I was initially doing it for me, you know what I'm saying? So like, it was like a memoir, like, okay, you felt, you know, you going through some stuff, listen to this song. You're going through this. Hey, you dropped a freestyle for that. You remember that other song you got and apply to this situation. So that was pretty much what I was doing. And I was like, damn, this music is actually pretty like nice. I'm gonna put it out. And like, I've had a few people tell me that like I have songs that have reached them or touched them in certain situations. So I don't want to put like a cap on everybody like, oh, these are my people, because I want it to be like a trap nigga that listen to Easy Money, which is a song about me being fucking broke.
Right.
And they like, I feel that. But then I have a song like The Letter, which is a more affectionate song, and then you got somebody that just, you know, went through an argument, you know, they done got kicked out the house, they sitting in the car trying to figure shit out, listening to that type of music, you hear that and it's like, well damn, okay, we might need to resolve this. So that was my goal, was just to make something that make you realize that I'm human, because as artists we put on a platform, like people always like, oh, you an artist so we can't relate to you. Yeah, you could. I go through shit every day.
Like everybody else, huh?
I go through shit every day. I just came from McDonald's earlier and a fucking lady rushed me before I got a chance to put my change in my wallet, and I felt pressure, so I might make a song about that.
And it's something, little things like that make the defining difference, because people don't realize that it's little things that send people over the edge when they're having a bad day.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, good thing you woke up in a good mood this morning, so after you got your Egg McMuffin, that rush didn't bother you too much. But imagine
it was a bad day.
Right, it was a bad day. You might have snapped out, you know what I'm saying?
I'm flipping the cookies over on the counter like, enough of this shit.
Now give me a hot and spicy. I know it's breakfast time, but you know.
Sir, it's 7:30. I said hot and spicy.
I don't care. I give them my hot and spicy. So, you know, I do love the fact that you're able to take such, I guess, everyday scenarios and pull them into a relatable storytelling piece where people can go, dang, yeah, when I was at the carpool, I did feel like that. Or when I went to the car wash, yeah. I
had that situation happen. Like,
that's real spill. And I find that that's one of the things that a lot of upcoming artists in our area can agree on.
Definitely.
There's not enough storytelling. It's not enough poetry. It's not enough. Music is supposed to be a healing factor. It's supposed to be a blueprint that helps you get through things you otherwise don't understand how to move through.
Right.
So I love the fact that you take your music and you replicate stories that everybody can relate to. It's never something that's far-fetched or you have to be in a certain position to be able to think about. Right.
You literally can just be like, okay, I put this on. Oh shit, I like it, but wait, play that again. I like the beat. Play it again. I just want you to play my music a lot. That's what I'm saying. Right. But play it again. Oh, the lyrics make sense. I get it. You know.
Nice.
That type of thing.
Speaking of music, we'll go ahead on and actually harness in on that for a second. I know that you have some singles out right now and a couple of projects that you have pushed and that you're working on. Let's go ahead on and we'll touch the brand. We'll let them know what projects you have out and where they can find them. And if you're working on anything coming into 2018, we're going to briefly touch on that so they know that it's something that they should be waiting on.
Okay, yeah, I have 2 projects out. It kind of tied back into growing up in New Orleans thing. They were called Bagging Season, which is short for Body Bagging Season. And it was a commemorative thing for one of my friends that got killed when we, before we graduated high school. It was like I was saying when we played football together and stuff. So I made those 2 projects in honor of him. Nice. But it was pretty much like me taking like other beats and making like my own version of songs and just giving you my output on stuff and things like that. And the fun fact about it, most of those, well no, I'm sorry, correction, all of those were freestyle. Like there was no, oh, I'm structuring a song. It was like, I heard this beat, put it on the computer, put my vocals on, turn me the fuck up. That was it. Like, that was it. I'm also working on a project called The Boy. It is related to pretty much me paying like homage to my dad, because that was how he acknowledged me. He was like, oh, the boy did this, the boy did that. And that made me feel like that nigga instead of the boy, because it was like, there's a million other boys in the world, but I'm the one that get the article, like, I'm that much more important. And like, I'm just that guy. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna title it that. So I can't really even, I'm gonna just leave all the details out on that, but you'll get all that soon.
That's the exclusives.
You can get my music right now. I'm really just on SoundCloud. I was on Audio Mac for a while, but they changed their format, and I was like, nah.
Right.
So it's SoundCloud.com/John Anthony. No unique spelling of it. My Instagram, however, is different because it is Uncrowned King, but it is UNCRWND_KING. Because I'm an artist and I can spell shit weird. Because I'm an artist and you won't have to ask me anything because I'm an artist.
Nice. Now, knowing that the 2 projects that you do have released are more mixtape style, and you are working on something right now, we're not gonna pick your brain too much. I know you want them to stay tuned to actually get that information.
Definitely.
But do you plan on having any special features or production on that particular album?
Yes. Just gotta stay tuned.
I don't get anything, guys. I don't get anything. I don't get like drop one day, maybe be a producer.
It's all falling.
I don't get nothing, y'all.
It's all falling.
I tried.
It's cause we kind of want to keep it like, don't do that, because like it's just.
I respect it. As long as you make sure you hit up the Native Air and the Antidote.
Definitely, I'm gonna hit y'all up.
We good.
Definitely, that's without a doubt.
Now, knowing that this project is under wraps, you are working on it. I'm hoping that we are going to be able to expect big things from you, because I know that there are a lot of people in the city that have been networking with you, a lot of different contrasts. Your music is very unique in the fact that you do play with a lot of different genre sounds, and you tied them back into hip hop. And I think that's something that's really, really cool. I heard you do a track where the beat almost comes in, and for a second, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I thought my boy was about to start head banging. I thought the dreads was about to start like whipping back and forth.
They were. They were.
But it was such a dope performance and such a uniquely composed song that his sound in itself is something very unique that you guys should take the time to check out, you know what I'm saying? You know where to find him on social media in regards to booking. If they need you for a verse, if they're looking to get on the track with you, if they're trying to book you for a showcase, how do they find you?
You could easily, don't worry, you could easily find me on Instagram, or you can email me. It's lilken96@gmail.com. It's an old Gmail. I'm gonna change it. Don't judge me. This was a long time ago. But it's LILKENN96@gmail.com, or follow your boy on Instagram. Click the link in the bio. Like the music, because you're gonna like the music and you're gonna like the way you feel. I guarantee it. And you can just DM me like, hey man, look, I want to do this, and just send me whatever, bro, and we can get it popping. Like,
that's what's up. Look, everybody out here is working hard. Nobody's looking at anything like, it's a competition. Everybody understands that for us to be successful in the entity that we're in, it's going to take networking and unity and teamwork.
Make the dream work.
You guys, don't sleep on John Anthony. Again, he's a very great lyricist. He's working very hard to make some differences, not only on the Baton Rouge scene, but in hip hop in general. You guys got it here first, thanks to the Antidote.com. Your girl Tubbi is signing up.
Millie Rock.